Our most requested color combination is here, the black and red desk mat. This is a small desk mat. It's 12 3/4 by 16 inches, so it's perfect for your laptop, your mouse, and your phone, or maybe your laptop, mouse, and a drink, because it is water resistant. I'll get to that later on. This one's Black Harvest with bright red stitching, dubbed bread. So for sneakerheads, you guys know what I'm talking about. This guy here, I'm gonna walk you through the entire process with the rolled edges, the rounded corners, this fully stitched. I'm gonna show you guys how it gets done. Let's get started. Let me start off with those materials, because as I mentioned very briefly a minute ago, this is water resistant. And what I mean by that is this is a pull-up leather, and a pull-up leather like this one uses a waxy top layer with oils underneath the wax. So when the leather creases, it typically leaves some kind of lighter streaks. When the oil moves around from the creasing, that kind of gives it this vintage look. But that's not the important part. The important part is the waxy top layer. Now when I say waxy top, wax might make you think sticky or kind of resistant, a lot of friction. Not really the case. This is a very smooth wax top surface, which means your mouse can glide very freely on top of that pad. And I actually use a pad myself. I use the desk mat that's small. It's the 12 by 7 or 12 3/4 by 14 inches, which is exactly what you're seeing in this video, except mine that I use personally is the English tan, whereas this is black. The waxy top, back to the point of this, is very water resistant. It means when you spill something or the condensation from your water, if you spill your coffee, which I've done on this mat before, not the one in the video that's going out to a customer, but my own mat, it wipes up really easily. That waxy top gives it that water resistance. Now, it's not waterproof. If you left it there, it would soak through the mat. But the nice thing is, leather's pretty forgiving, at least this leather in particular, when it comes to, you know, getting water on it. Water in particular will just dry up, won't leave any stains. It's pretty simple, honestly. Unless it's completely submerged in water, that might change the pigment. But, you know, if you just leave your water on there and it drips through and then it dries, it'll be completely fine. Coffee, on the other hand, something like that, if you let it dry on its own and you don't wipe it up, it may leave a little bit of ring, in which case I would recommend using some heat, maybe some friction, even like a leather balm. You can massage that out. You know, so these waxy top leathers are pretty forgiving. I really love them. Another thing that they're awesome at is scratch forgiveness. Because of that wax, if you scratch it, which it is susceptible to, the wax can easily be scratched. You just kind of rub it around with your finger and it goes away. It's really, really forgiving. So it makes an awesome desk mat. All right, back to this. The black and red. Highly requested. Hundreds of comments. That's probably exaggeration, but lots and lots of comments, at least several dozen, asking for black and red, and here you are. This is a customer order. They did not request a custom engraving, which I do for free. You've seen some in the past where I've got like some initials in the bottom right corner. If the customer does not request initials, I just use the whiskey glass icon for the 80 Proof Goods logo, and I stamp that on, which you saw me do, or which you will see me do, I guess, toward the end of the video. So with that said, black and red, highly requested combo. It's a bread. It's just a classic color combination. It looks good. You know, if you're not a fan of this pop of contrast, there are like up to 15 different stitching colors to choose from. Black on black is another classic. I recently did a black on dark brown, or dark brown on black, I should say, which looked really awesome. That just gives you kind of that close-up difference, but if you're standing farther away, it might be tougher to see. And there you have it. Black on red. Really big pop of contrast. Doesn't necessarily go with my setup. You can see on my desk, the red doesn't really match with anything else. I've got a lot of earth tones and kind of blacks and browns and grays. So personally, I would probably go with maybe a gunmetal gray stitching for my desk, or like a light brown or an auburn. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments.